Good morning, class. It's Tuesday, April 21st, 2020. So today in math, we're going to continue to work on our polygons in nature project. You're going to be on day 2. You will need to use Book Creator and Pick Collage, and there will also be a question on your Google quiz about which two quadrilaterals you were writing about today. Remember, this project goes hand in hand with writing, so you'll be doing the same thing for your writing block. For reading, you're going to be reading the article The World's Oceans again, and there will be another question on your Google quiz about it. And in science, we're going to be working on our animal habitat project. Upcoming assignments. The Polygons in Nature adventure story will be due April 28th. That's going to be a week from today, so continue to plug away on it. I've broke the project up into days, so as long as you complete each assignment each day, it should be able to be finished on time. Also, make sure that if you didn't yesterday or you need to again, watch this review video. It'll be in the attachments underneath the morning announcements. Reading, writing, and comparing decimals. Make sure you understand that concept. You can practice some with someone at home or come on to Google Meet if you need to practice with me. And then don't forget that you'll have your Friday tests live with me. There will be a schedule attached, or there'll be a schedule on Friday morning. You'll be meeting at the same time as you did last Friday, but in case you've forgotten, make sure you check your time, that you're there on time, and that you have a paper and pencil and are ready to go. Okay, guys, so for math, again, we're going to get into this polygons in nature assignment. And this is just kind of what I showed you yesterday, so you already know it's going to be an adventure story. You have about a week to work on it, and I have a list of apps here that you can use. I'm not going to go through each of these as we went through that yesterday. Okay, so day 2 of this Polygon in Nature project, what you're going to do is you are going to write today and make sure that as you're writing and coming up with some of your story today, that your character comes in contact with at least 2 quadrilaterals. In addition to writing a story where your character is going to find or discover these quadrilaterals, you're also going to need to create artwork by using photos you take, photos from online, or doing a combination. I found that photo editing using Pick Collage was a great way to put together some pictures to make them interesting looking. And as I said before, on your daily quiz, you're going to need to record which 2 quadrilaterals you wrote about today. So here's an example of mine. This is a page out of my book, which if you read it, it will look familiar to you. So me and my guide are walking, and we've just barely gotten started entering into the rainforest, and as we're walking along the path, we see this little trapezoid down amongst the leaves munching on something, and once it realizes that we're watching it, it runs off and we don't see it again. So this would be an example of what your story would be like. You're just going to be doing an everyday kind of exploring type thing and come across these quadrilaterals as if they were animals or planets or whatever theme it was that you selected. Another thing, this is where it's going to be kind of nonfiction inspired. So we're going to have these little cutouts here, these captions almost with the pictures. So I had fun facts about trapezoids. These do need to be included in your book so that I see that you understand what makes it a trapezoid or a parallelogram. So here I have, that a trapezoid is a member of the quadrilateral family and that they have one set of parallel lines. You need to include those captions on your picture so that I know that you understand the math behind these shapes. Okay, and again, so you're doing a combination of reading and writing. So today, as you're doing this project, you probably have characters selected. You should definitely have a setting selected. And you're really working on kind of this portion of your writing, so I should know who it is, who's in the story, where you're at, and kind of what you're doing here. And this is where you're also going to find at least 2 quadrilaterals at this point in your story. You could be setting up a problem so that we know what the problem is going to be. You don't have to be quite there yet. So today it's just going to be kind of like mine. I'm hiking along and happen across a trapezoid. And also later on that evening, as I'm sitting around the campfire, me and my guide hear something in the bushes and realize there is a parallelogram behind us. So it's just some rising action getting more towards the middle of the story. And that's kind of what your objective today is in writing. Right now would be a good time to go ahead and pause this video, pull out whatever it is that you're writing on, whether you're using paper, pencil, or if you're writing directly into your book creator, and begin writing today, going to pick collage, adding in some photos. And when you've completed that portion, you can come back to today's video and watch for the rest of your instruction. Also, don't forget to go and answer the one question about this math project on your Google quiz. All right, guys, so today in reading, again, we're going to be reading that short story about the world's oceans. As I said yesterday, make sure that you post any comments, links, or videos that you found about the Mariana Trench, the Great Barrier Reef, tsunamis, tides. Today's questions are going to be geared more towards what the main idea is and the supporting details of the story. So remember, main idea is what it's mostly about, and supporting details are small ideas that that support the main topic. So for example, I don't want to give away this week's, but last week's we had bats. And as you read about bats, we found out some traits about them. We learned about their bodies. There was a whole section that talked about their bodies. There was another section that talked about how they were helpful. And the last section talked about echolocation and how they were able to get food. And so these were kind of the three small main ideas that all supported the bigger idea that the article was about bats. So today you're going to be kind of doing a similar thing. You're going to think, what's the main idea of the world's oceans? And then what are some three other ideas that are really heavy, really big inside this text that all also still have to do with the world's oceans? Right now would be a good time to pause this video, go back and read your article, looking for, keeping on that lens of what is my main idea, what are these other supporting details, and then go into your Google quiz and answer the questions about that. All right, in science today, over the last couple of weeks, like we talked about yesterday, we've been learning about animal groups with a focus on vertebrates or animals with backbones. We've also learned that over many generations, animals' bodies can adapt to allow them to survive better. And yesterday, you learned a little bit about animals and their habitats. So today, we're going to take that just a little step further. Today, you're going to begin finishing up your animal habitat project that we started in science when we were actually at school. Your animal habitat project kind of looks like this. So this is just kind of a screenshot of what some of the documents might look like that you have. These should be in your homework folder. And yes, I did check with each and every one of you that you had it. So you need to look through your backpacks, look through your folder, and find it. Everyone walked out the door with this. All the paperwork for this project should be completed by Tuesday, April 28th. So each day, I just kind of want you to plug away at a little bit of this, whatever you haven't gotten finished. If you have a question about a particular sheet, make sure that you come onto our Google Meet with the papers and show me what it is that you are questioning and are not sure about. So just keep working on the paper stuff. Now, what will be next? So after the 28th, which is Tuesday next week, we're going to take this project just a little step further, which was originally the plan for class. So once you've completed all of that, you actually are going to build a 3D animal habitat for the animal that you've been researching. You're just going to do this with some materials found around your home. I do not want your family to feel like they need to go out to a store. It's definitely not a wise decision right now. But it could really be anything that you find, an old shoebox. It could be, a mac and cheese box, whatever it is that you have, maybe to build a small habitat. My son made his out of an old Amazon box, a few little plastic toys that he had, and then literally pulling leaves and grass and things off of our yard. So whatever is going to work for you is fine by me. I want a three-dimensional, so something you could touch and feel and hold, model of your animal habitat. And we'll talk about this more when we get to it next week. You will take a short video of yourself explaining your animal habitat, like what animal it's for and what you've included in there to make it kind of like the home that animal would have come from in the wild. You'll submit those videos on Seesaw and Google Classroom. I'm going to do both. I'd like them on Seesaw so that your peers, your classmates can see them, and then Google Classroom for me to grade. This project, the 3-dimensional model, will be due May 1st. All right, guys, and then our app of the week, we've already talked about it. Just spend 15 to 30 minutes on Freckle working on passing off a section. If you do indeed pass off a section, I know one of your classmates has like 5 more levels, so they're getting pretty close. Make sure you take a screenshot of that and then turn it into Seesaw so that I can see that you have passed it off. All right, guys, remember tomorrow is Wednesday, and Wednesday we do not have any YouTube video or a daily quiz. You will just be on iStation, iReady, and Quill. It's kind of our completely online day where you won't have any contact necessarily with me either. That should take you about an hour. I thought I was going to tell you something else, but I've forgotten. Anyway, if you have any struggles getting onto any of those apps, I will be on Meet from 8:30 to 10, and you can come on there and I will help you get logged in. Have a wonderful day, and I will actually see you via video on Thursday.